Oh, looks like you guys can't see me. People can see me? Okay. Hopefully you can hear and see me there. All right, so big day, the pedometer contest. We are taping this just in case you are not able to watch it live. So if you know of any coworkers or spouses, they can always just watch the recording. But I have a lot of good information for you today. Make sure that you're picking up those surveys, picking those up. You can start filling those out for me. And then also there is the sign-in sheet. So really important for the workshops that we're doing bi-monthly is that you sign your name so we know to put you into that $100 raffle. All right, so let's go ahead and get started here. I always load these in. I always have so much to say. So Walk This Way workshop. I did have Aerosmith all logged in here to play. Maybe we'll do that at the end. But, you know, here we go, overview. We're going to talk about the health of an MS and spouses, those of you who took the personal wellness profile and got your biometrics done. The pedometer contest, we're going to talk about all the juicy details in terms of, you know, what do you need to do to stay on track with that, the benefits of taking or aiming toward 10,000 steps per day, and then the benefits of stretching for injury prevention, and then also just overall well-being there. All right, so again, just a reminder for myself, I put this in here, but feedback survey. So your opinion really counts. It's the reason that we're doing this program. You know, it's really my intention for everything that we're doing. Every time I'm doing a presentation or the Healthy Habits group or responding to your emails, obviously, I want to know what you want to learn about. So that's why these surveys are just so, so important. So please, you know, take your time filling those out for me. All right, so on to the details. 25 teams, so 25 teams of 4. It's such an awesome turnout. We went over my 90, you know, goal of getting 90 of you to participate. We're slowly starting to funnel in. You know, I'm getting team captains and the names of the teams. So it's so fun. I love hearing the names of the teams. I'll make sure to share those with you as well. You guys are really clever there, so I love those. We're about maybe half of you have sent me those, so if you can send me those by the end of the day today. So in addition of, you know, giving me the captains and the names, it also gives you a chance to meet who's on your team. So you should have at least one other person in your office, or maybe even a team of all office members. I did my best to get the teams are as fair as I could get them, and then also hopefully you have one other buddy in the office so you can really walk over and, you know, keep each other motivated, as well as email with your fellow team members there in the other office location. So June 13th is today, so the official start, you can start logging on June 14th, which is tomorrow, and it goes through August 9th. So we wanted to make sure everybody got their pedometers today, just in case, you know, it's the last day to pick them up. We wanted to give you a day that you can play around with the pedometer so you can just get up and start using it tomorrow morning. The final login is August 9th at 5 p.m. So mark your calendars, so you'll be getting weekly emails with motivational tips from me along the way here. And then the winners will be announced Thursday, August 15th at noon. I'll be in town live to be in Columbus to be able to announce that to everybody. So we are rolling. All right, additional details here is you're going to use your pedometer, which you're going to wear all the time. So every step that you take per day is a step that you can log. You're going to track your daily steps. So every day you're going to track your daily steps, and I'm going to tell you how you can do that. You can keep track of it, and then you're going to be sending that to your captain. So you're going to send your weekly, which your weekly for us is going to be Thursday through Wednesday, step total to your captain by Wednesdays at 5. And then the captains are going to send their total, the group total, to me by Thursday. And then I'll be able to give you your team updates on Tuesday, so you can always be looking out for those, which I'm also going to give you those motivational tips then as well. All right, so where are you going to track? There's 3 ways you can track. You can track on WellSuite on Healthy Activity Tracker, which I'm going to show you in just a quick minute here. You can use a hand calendar. So if you're like me and you don't necessarily love using Excel or going online to log your points, you can go ahead and print out the calendar and you can just hand do it. And there's also an Excel calendar too. So all of these things are going to be on WellSuite. Let me come back to the screen real quick here, and we're going to go up to WellSuite. So WellSuite here, you can just do your login. I'll log me in here, and I'm going to show you where the Healthy Activity Tracker is, just in case you haven't used it yet. So I'm here on the left-hand side. You're going to click Health Activity Tracker. I went ahead and switched this over to Step. Let's see if the internet's going to work with me right now. And if not, we'll come back and revisit it too. It looks like it's moving a little slow. Okay, so Healthy Activity Home, you want to go to Pedometer Step. So you're going to go ahead and click that. And this should be where it is. So today, so say tomorrow, you know, say I did 6,000 steps, and you can go ahead and hit save. And it will calculate for you. So that's a really easy way. I also added a nice little link here, the pedometer contest link right at the top. You can go ahead and click that, and that's going to give you the other form. So the form for you to do the hand-written calendar is right here, and you can go ahead and go down to download and do that there. So I'm not going to wait for this, but we can. If you have any questions with pulling that up, I'm happy to lead you through that, and your wellness coordinators can help you as well. The teams are on that link. Here's the calendar here for you to track there too. Get one extra little bonus day as well. All right, back to this little presentation here. Really important. So obviously we're doing this, to get you healthy, but I really want you to focus on, doing this to feel good. You want to feel good in your body, and you want to feel good each day. Clarity in the mind, and energy, and so you want to be a better and healthier parent, a better spouse, a friend, a coworker. We all need you around and at your best. You'll be able to support the people that you love in your life, and then they're going to be feeling good, so they can support you too, so everybody can be healthy and happy. So 7 benefits of activity. So really, why are we doing this? Why even get out of your chair? So you're going to build muscle. You're going to increase your energy. So a train of thought here, kind of a reframe. So a lot of the times, if you're not somebody who works out before work, and you go to work all day, and then you're taking care of the kids, and you're running a bunch of errands, the hardest thing is to come home and do activity because you're tired. But instead of reframing your thoughts to think, this exercise is actually going to help give me energy, it's going to help me sleep better, it's going to reduce my stress, it's going to help me relax eventually. So even 5 minutes of getting out and doing something, moving around. It's also going to help you lose weight and control your appetite. You might feel better, sleep better, reduce your anxiety and depression. You'll also find that it helps relieve your arthritis and back pain. If you're rehabbing maybe with some strength exercises there too. And then it lowers your risk of diabetes, blood pressure, cancer, heart disease, and stroke. So great benefits there. All right. So on top of the benefits of feeling better and getting your health in where it needs to be, we also added some cash prizes. So the winning team gets $400, so $100 per person. Second place gets $100 total for the team, so that's $25 per person. And then we added individual winners this time. So first, second, third place ranging from $100 for first, second place is $50, and then third is $25. So there's some even more incentive. All right, so changing gears here to your personal wellness profile. So the results are in for, how is MS doing? So how is this score? You might have, we talked about what is your score, where's your score between 0 to 100? So research has identified these risk factors linked to chronic disease, healthcare costs, decreased productivity, and decreased lifespan. So the presence or absence of these health risks, that's what determines your score that you received. The average score that we got was 71 over 100. So we're doing well. We only can go up a little bit. Once we get to 80, then we're doing excellent. So I would say congrats to us. I think that's pretty great. So we're doing well, 71 out of 100. But how's the breakdown? So if you're wondering, where are we in terms of percentage-wise? 22.2% of you are in the excellent category, which is 80 to 100 on those scores. 61.5 of you are doing well. So we're stuck there, which is a big percentage of us, which is great. It's between 60 and 79. And then 16.3% of you are in the needs improving. So I know that I'm working with some of you one-on-one with follow-up, and then hopefully we're going to start shifting all of us more toward the excellent category. The great news is that nobody was at extreme high risk, so caution high risk. So that is a great thing. All right, put our focus areas. So what did I take from these results? There's two things that I pulled out, and then there's actually a list of 5 or plus things that we'll be focusing on through the additional workshops we have this year and the Healthy Habits group. But for today, focusing on physical activity, obviously that's what we put for the pedometer contest, and that was one of the main goals that we created this year for the program. It's recommended about 5 days of activity a week, or roughly around 150 minutes of activity. So what are we currently doing, MS and spouses? 80.7% get less than 5 days a week, so less than the recommended, and 11.1% of you get no regular exercise. So how does that compare to the national norm? The national norm, 56% get less than 5 days, so we're a little bit above that, and then 27% get no regular exercise. So we're actually below that, so we're doing better in that category. All right, and then the second one we want to focus on is weight. So we have control over how much activity we do, and then really about what our weight is too. These are two things that we have control of modifying so we can be healthier. So where are we in terms of weight? MS Wellness, at work participants, we're at 41.5% are overweight. And that's just in your BMI category. So BMI of 25 to 29.9, that puts you in the overweight category, and then 24.4% is in the obese category. So that's at your high risk there. National norm, 34% overweight, so a little bit higher there, and 32% obese, and we're lower in that category. So pluses and minuses, and sometimes it's like ripping a Band-Aid off just to see where are we now. The great news is you can always make a change. So that's something we'll be able to compare from year in to year out here. Company-wide, obviously the goals that I set for everybody and myself with the program is to get us to get out of our seats, have a little bit more activity, and then reach and maintain a healthy weight. All right, so obviously one way to do that is this pedometer contest that we're jumping into. So with your handy pedometer, so hopefully if you haven't picked it up, it's there today for you to get. You'll have your pedometer, you'll be able to reset it, and when you clip it on your belt, you want to keep it with you and clip on you, and every time you take a step, it should make a change there and adding your steps. A good baseline is to just average 3 days. So to figure out, where are you at the start? How many steps do you do? And we're working up to 10,000 steps or more each day. Now that might sound like an extreme number. We're going to break it down here on the next slide. But 10,000, that's not extra activity. It's throughout your whole day. So each week, if you're not up to 10,000 steps, you can add maybe 2,000 steps each day, adding. So what does that mean? Okay, a sedentary person is about 5,000 steps per day. So that movie Super Size Me, he was doing, eating all the fast food every day from McDonald's, and then he was also trying to, do the same amount of exercise as a sedentary person would be, and he was aiming for about 5,000 steps per day on average there, but that gives you a rough estimate. So 10,000 steps equals about 5 miles of walking per day. 2,000 steps is 1 mile. And then 1 mile for the average person can take anywhere between 20 to really 40 minutes, depending if you're walking at a moderate pace, but just to give you a rough estimate. All right, so brainstorming ways to increase your daily steps. Thinking about that. As you're sitting there with your coworkers, I wanted to, and the moderators, if you'd like, you can type in, brainstorm, how can you add, more steps into your day? We'll leave about a minute here to just throw it out there. Feel free to share. You want to get some conversation going. What ways you can do. Feel free to type in there, moderators. course, I have some things in mind. All right. So feel free to type. So some of the ways that I have brainstormed that you can do more activity. We can get to the next slide here. All right. Use your stairs. Use the stairs instead of the elevator. So people have already told me that they're doing this, so that's great. Plan a walking meeting. So it looks like jumping jacks. I just got in the jumping jacks is awesome. You definitely get some steps for doing jumping jacks. This might be the best time of year for you to do that. Maybe on your break, people will maybe understand why you're doing jumping jacks, maybe at the office there. Planning a walking meeting, especially now that it's summertime. You know, going outside and if it's something that you're not needing a new computer or pen or paper. Walk around the block at lunchtime or on your break. You know, jog in place is also one. And then you can walk before or after work. You know, you can even get really creative. I mean, it's almost an annoying task, but instead of using the remote control for the TV, you can walk and change the channel. I mean, you can get really nuts about adding activity. Park a little further away from the store and walk. Okay, some options there. All right, and then really we're talking about goals, setting goals for not only your wellness goals for the year, but also the contest. And if you're not in the contest, even just setting an activity goal, so you can be working on this while your fellow coworkers are doing, you know, increasing their steps. So start with a baseline. So doing the average of your 3 days, or if you're not in the contest, you can look at, you know, I'm currently working out this much, but I know I could do a little bit more. Setting a goal there. So setting a step goal per day and per week, or setting an activity goal per day and per week. So marking your calendars with which day you're going to do. You know, are you going to do it before work, at your lunch break, after work? Are you going to incorporate it into your weekend? You want to be really specific. The more specific you can be, and I know with some of you, you probably were like, stop asking me how, when am I going to make this happen? But by doing that, it increases your chances so greatly to really making it part of your reality. And then even bigger is tell your team. You know, tell your team that you're going to do it. So when they're asking you, when it's time to, you know, chime in on how many steps you've taken, you hit your goal. So you can feel good about that. You can always share on the Facebook page, and you can also get a wellness buddy. So if you're not in the contest, you can have somebody there at the office that you go for a walk with, or you're, you know, being held accountable to for your activity and your goals. And then getting involved. So it's been really fun to hear about these walking and running clubs getting started at the offices. You know, Columbus has one that they go on Wednesdays around 5 o'clock, and I know they do a couple other days per week too. If you're in Columbus and you're interested in getting involved in that, contact Ben Brown. Akron, Tuesdays at noon, Renee is walking there. And then in Pittsburgh, Kevin Hartnett. I don't know if we set up a time just yet, but he is interested in walking. So if you want to walk as well there in Pittsburgh, go for it. Any of the other office locations, I just haven't heard from you. That's why you're not up here. So if you're interested and want me to promote it and throw it out there, go ahead and shoot me an email. And I know there in Youngstown you're doing the Community Cup there. So there's a lot of activities going on in terms of exercise there for the Community Cup. And if you have any, you know, you're looking for more information about that, go ahead and contact Debbie Freed. So that's how are ways you can get involved. And then June's monthly challenge. So we're about halfway done with June's monthly challenge. And what is that challenge? It's to stretch at least 10 minutes, 22 plus days per month. So that's the stretching handout. It was on your well suite there. We're going to go over it here in a second again. So, but why stretch? You know, I'm assuming that for those of you who do stretch, you know why you stretch, because it feels so good. And it helps you maintain your flexibility and good range of motion. It improves your circulation. We all need that, especially as we grow older. It relieves stress and tension. So definitely a stress reliever. It's so great when you're stressed, your muscles get so tight and it can lead to migraines or even just ailments in general. It makes it hard to move around. It will decrease your energy if you're tense and tighten your muscles. It counteracts muscle imbalances, so being seated all day, if you're a sedentary person, especially even due to, you know, working. It's getting up and stretching the muscles that need stretched because you're in a seated position all day. That's important. And then it also prevents injury. The tight muscles can lead to injury. So keeping them nice, yourself nice and limber is a great thing for wellness. So how much do you stretch? So when you registered, 73 people registered for the Walk This Way workshop today. So with these numbers, I had asked you guys this little question. 12 of you stretch 5+ days a week. So that's a lot, 5+ days a week. So 12 of you out of 73, 29% of you, or 29 people out of 73 do 2 to 4 days per week. So that's right there in the wellness challenge this month. And then 17 of you do 1 per week or less, and then 15 of you don't stretch. So hopefully, in these numbers we're taking kind of throughout the month of June, depending on when you're registering. But I really recommend if you can get at least 2 days a week, you might find huge changes in your health, in your general well-being, and just the way that you feel. All right, so reasons, stretching tips. So stretch after your aerobic activity. So when you are cold, your muscles are cold, and you're trying to do a static stretch, which means you're holding. You're coming in, a typical one is people bend over, touch their toes. But if you're doing it on cold muscles, or if you're really going to try to stretch too much in the back of your legs, your hamstrings, you might pull something. So it's best to do after your aerobic activity. You're stretching all your major muscle groups if you can. So you're thinking like, what's my big muscles in my legs, either the front and back of my legs. You do your calf muscles. You can do your torso. You can do your chest muscles. Really getting all the big ones stretched, your neck. And then you want to hold each stretch for about 15 to 30 seconds. When you do 15 to 30 seconds, you really can start to see some change happen in the muscles. And then stretching at least 2 times per week. And then you want to make sure, this is important, is to breathe when you're stretching. So we want to bring oxygen to that muscle, and if you're holding your breath, there's no oxygen getting there. So really important to breathe, and even use your exhale to let that muscle release. You can practice that because it's so crazy how that works. All right, so let's take a little stretch break here. And the last thing, we don't have too much time, but I wanted to show you this handout. This handout's under your monthly health challenges, and this is going to go through a bunch of different stretches that you can do during the pedometer contest, or you can just try to complete the health challenge for this month. It goes from your neck, stretches your back, your shoulders, your chest muscles, and then the second page really goes over your hips and your legs. Inner thighs are here too, and your calves. They're really great handouts, some kind of funny pictures there, but I want to go over just a couple with you. Let me bring me back to the screen. Okay, so a couple stretches that I find to be so helpful throughout the day, and then you go through these together. So go ahead and sit up nice and tall and uncross your legs if you have your legs crossed. Put your feet flat on the floor, and we're going to stretch through the trunk, the torso. So you're going to sit up tall, and then I want you to keep your hips down, but you're going to twist. You're going to take your left hand, I'll do my right hand, left hand, take it to the outside of your right knee or leg, take your other hand to the back of the chair, and then you're going to twist towards your right. You can twist as deeply as you need to, but you're just going to keep twisting, and then you're going to sit up really tall like you have a pole at the top of your head that's connecting to your sit bone, and then you're going to twist. And then when you're doing this, I want you to breathe in deeply and try to lengthen your spine. And then as you exhale, I want you to try to let go of some muscle tension and twist. Just go ahead and do one more breath right now. Inhaling, lifting up, and then exhale, really deepening. Up, and then you're going to inhale, come forward. And just so you're even today, let's go ahead and switch your sides. So you're going to take your right hand. You're going to take it to the outside of your left knee. You're going to sit up nice and tall. You can take your hands to the back of the chair, or you can side of the chair and then twist. So you're going to sit up tall and then exhale, twist. Okay. So feel good on the torso. You're inhaling and then exhaling. One more time. Inhale and exhale. And then you're going to come back around. Perfect. That's getting your trunk. Another one you can still do just when you're seated is you're going to take your left hand, put it on the side of your chair. You can even reach for the bottom of that chair. You're going to switch your right arm up toward the ceiling and then lean over toward your left and stretch the side of your body. You feel it in your wrist here on the side. Reach and stretch. Long. It's really good too if you have allergies. Okay, so come up and over to the other side. So be gentle as you come up, and then you stretch, reach up, and then come over to the other side. Oh. I know we're seated. Still can really stretch your torso. Okay, and then you're going to come all the way back up. Good. One last little one while we're seated, and then I'm going to tell you the other ones that I want you to practice on your own, and then let me know how they go on the wellness page, the Facebook wellness page. This one is for your chest. So you can take your hands, spread your hands nice and wide. It's really important because if you're typing, too, I want you to work on spreading your hands. You know, you can even squeeze and stretch, squeeze, and stretch. Okay, now you're going to make goalposts with the arms. This is really good if you get in the door, too, as well. You can put your hands on the door frame, or you can even just do it without. Imaginary door. You're going to press your upper arm bone, so really your forearms and your hands behind you. Just really try to touch your elbows behind your back. Oh. Breathe. Remember, you should feel stretch. Now, use goalpost arms. Go ahead and stretch your arms straight out and try to touch your fingertips all the way behind your back. And notice how you might feel that. Now your fingertips, try to touch your fingertips toward each other. You feel that all the way on the undersides of your arm, underneath your forearm. Okay, then come all the way back. Woo, and just relax. So that's 3 that you can do just seated. That's great. I'd love to see you get up out of your chair maybe every hour, just for 1 or 2 minutes, and move your legs. You know, walk around with the legs. You can do some of those stretches that are on that handout. All right. So I want to open the floor for questions. I think in terms of, let's make sure I don't miss anything here. I'm going to come back. Oh, definitely. Those surveys, I put it, please turn them in. So if you did the surveys, if you can please turn them in, or if you haven't filled it out yet, go ahead and take a moment. And it won't take up any more of your time. You know, I have to go back and have to fill out a survey online. I just want you to do that for me now, please. Turn them into your wellness coordinator. And then just a review of today. So what did we talk about? The pedometer contest officially starts tomorrow, Friday the 14th. You can start wearing your stepper, your pedometer, as soon as you get out of bed tomorrow morning. You're going to make sure, if you haven't, your team, connect with them, get to know them. Your team captain, pick somebody and send me a team name. And then set your daily step or even activity goal, for those of you not in the pedometer contest, and just try to increase the activity for your health. And then stretch to prevent injuries. So using that stretch handout and commit to 2 times per week. So you can use that stretch handout and maybe pick, you know, 1 exercise with each of the categories, so you're really getting 1 part of each part of your body. All right, so go ahead, and I'm seeing here 1 question. Let's see if I can read it. Okay, it looks like, all right, with the pedometer, so it looks like from Indy there, the reset button, and I can come back to the screen here. Maybe. Okay. All right, come back to the screen. So here's your pedometer. You have 2 buttons, the reset and the mode button. Now it looks like in Indy you're having trouble with the reset button being hit. It's resetting you throughout the day. So it looks like Indy's actually popping off that button so it doesn't reset, and that might be a great idea. You know, try it out today. You know, wear your button, wear your pedometer, and if you're finding that you're looking down, you know, check it out every 30 minutes. And if you're finding that it resets for you, you know, maybe pulling off that reset button, and then just each day you'll have to use a pen or a pencil and stick it in there to reset. That might be a good thing. So thanks for Indy for pointing that out. All right. And I'll keep brainstorming ways and check next Tuesday when I send the email. We'll make sure to, if you have questions or things are going on with the pedometer, we'll do a frequently asked questions, so we'll be able to answer those. And then most of those questions will be right in those emails. So make sure you're looking at those. All right. Any other questions? All right. It looks like, okay. It looks like, okay, Gary, I will contact you in regards to that one via email just as soon as we're done. We're done. Okay. All right. Any other questions? You guys go ahead and stick them in. If you don't have any other questions, too. Since I geared this up, while you're turning, I don't know if I still have it geared up or not. While you're turning in, well, I'll go ahead and play you this Aerosmith song, so you can have that be the theme song as you go back to work. So I'll give you one more second here, and then I will leave you with some Aerosmith as you walk out. But as always, I can't express how thankful I am that you come and sit and listen to me. I hopefully you learned something today, and I can't wait for the results for next week. So have a great, lovely weekend. Enjoy yourself and relax, and I will see you all very soon. See you later. Bye, everybody. Here we go. Can you guys hear it? All right.